meaning the mercy and the severity, the Bina and Chakma, or the two pillars, Joachim and Boaz, mercy and severity. It's the mercy of the mother that extracts you from the thicket. That's the crook. It is the disciplinary in hand of the father that makes you follow the straight path. That's the flail. So when you put it together, it manifests as a son or a child. It could be a daughter too, that becomes the family redeemer by honoring both the mother and the father without taking sides over either one or the other.
Right, right.
But we always take sides. The red takes sides with mama. The blue takes sides with daddy. That's just the way we do naturally by nature. So when you have one that's red but is raised by the blue, his loyalties is divided. So in order for him to maintain integrity, he have to take over both sides of the family. But the takeover is not hostile because it's predicated up on most loved, most respected.
So in the event that your family ain't coming together like that, and I've heard you mention this before, and I've heard this question asked several times. So you create the tribe. The tribe can be anyone that has the same mindset and that is consistent with the vibration that you're on. And like you say, all skin folks ain't kin folks, right? And I firmly believe that, and I learned that firsthand in my own family, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, you look just like one of my oldest cousins, peace be upon him. My people from Ripley, Mississippi, but I wasn't, I was raised in St. Louis, Missouri. And on that note, what do you think about the portal, the Gateway Arch being a portal? Because I hear you talk a lot about the Midwest states.
Yeah, so you talking about the one in St. Louis?
Yes, the Gateway Arch.
It's a Stargate. It's a Stargate. They closed it though.
Okay. Okay.
But they had to keep it in the public domain, so when we look at it, we will see the Stargate, so that we will have to put it together that the Stargates are on Earth.
Okay. Okay. Got you. And on that note, before you get ready to go, since you mentioned Stargates, are you familiar with, I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, that's the Kabbalistic tree.
Stargates. Can you see that?
Yep, that's on the Kabbalistic tree.
Right. Okay, so the planetary one, or not the galactic one, it has MALDECK in the place of the sun. So what are your thoughts of that? I mean, MALDECK is not a auspicious energy, is it?
MALDECK was the moon that used to be around Jupiter. And MALDECK was caught up in the collision with the planets that came in the tail of NIBURU when it went through the orbit the wrong way. This is why they turning Saturn into a intergalactic satellite, communication satellite. So that they can always calibrate NIBURU to go into orbit that won't physically flip the poles, but it'll still flip the energy. They don't want the physical crust changing positions, because every time it does, it causes great cataclysm. They can steer NIBURU, and they can alter the orbit, whereas it give minimal effect to us.
Okay. Okay.
Well, we had to make the Galactic Council enforce that, because it caused a interplanetary war within the Earth realm, which goes from the Sun to Pluto and beyond a little bit further. And the NIBURU secondary star that comes through our system every 3,600 years. So it was us was infighting down here, then we was fighting them. They fighting each other. They infighting up there on NIBURU. We infighting in the Earth realm, And then we fighting each other at the same time. It was a total mess. It was all chaos. That's why they say from the chaos comes the order. Right? And the only way to get the order out of the chaos is you follow all of the things that's right and dispense with all of the things that's wrong.
Okay.
The wrong things are going in directions in the creation that is not supposed to go. That's what make it wrong. When you get as many as you can following the way things are supposed to go, then that's how you get it right. And to get it right is to stand in a position of right, tell the truth, and be right on that principle.
Okay.
Right. And then the energy shift is what aligns the grids. Most of our Stargates was commandeered by the Galactic Council because of that nasty war.
Okay.
So now we had to overcome that obstacle, and we had to do peace treaties, find the truth, find the common medium in which all parties can be satisfied.
Okay.
So what we came up with is all of those who don't belong here have to leave. Only the Earthborn stay on Earth. So some of our new children who didn't come here to stay, they came on a stateside visit with Anu. They leaving because they never wanted to be here in the first place. They was just coming to inspect.
Right, right.
Right. And so when they get here to inspect, war break out.
Yeah.
So they stuck here. They don't want to be here. Just like Enlil called his son Marduk, because he's the military's genius in the family, to come and carry out the gold mining operations. And he's been doing it for the last 6,000 years, but he never wanted to be here.
Yeah, got that.
Right? He wanted, Marduk had his own shit. But when your daddy tell you, I need your help, son, you're going to come help him. You don't have to like it.
Right.
The same with your mama. You're going to help even if you don't like it. So he got stuck here doing something he didn't want to do that was not a righteous cause to him. But in honor of his father, he agreed to do it. But he also had to agree, or he made an agreement with Tahuti to surrender at the end, which he did. Now, there's another Marduk that's Enki's son. So when Marduk, Enlil's son, made his move to claim Earth, Tahuti sent his brother Marduk to secure NIBURU so that Anu wouldn't be overthrown and deposed by his son Enlil. Right? And the reason why we knew who took over NIBURU is because they changed the name from NIBURU to Marduk, and that was the message to us on the ground that it was successfully secured from the tyranny. Remember, they told us about a war in heaven. These are the people involved in that war, and it ended up coming to Earth, and we didn't ask for it. We wasn't party to it, but we got involved in it because it landed. It's like some dudes get to fighting in your front yard, knocking over your shit. And you telling them to get out your yard with it, and they like, make me. So you make them.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's what happened.
So the planet that they destroyed in this battle, in this galactic battle, which was Tiamat, and the parts of her body that was formulated into the Earth, and then also the moon, our planetary.
The moon is a battleship. The moon haven't always been there. It's a battleship. And what we was thinking, the destruction that created the moon actually was the destruction that created the asteroid belt.
Right, right. So you think that's how they was able to use the moon to create lunar matrices and send those signals into the Earth, which is part of the main reason why, and this is a kind of a question, but I've been kind of pondering with this information for a long time, because I often wonder why people behave the way they behave. It can't just be because that's how they want to act, you know. And so it in the information it states that the lunar dark forces that is being used, the moon is being used to filter these signals into the earth, that takes advantage of the feminine principle, therefore runs a reversal program. And so perhaps this is why you see a lot of women, and this has been going on probably for either of us was born, but we get to witness it in our time, that women seem to have lost, and that's not all women, but for the most part, a large majority of that feminine principle. So therefore, the family structure broke down.
It's the story of Lilith that you're asking about. Lilith was the energy before the moon was put there as Eve. Lilith was the Saturn before the rings. Right. And ever since the moon been there, they've been building rings around Saturn so they don't have this problem again. The Lilith energy was when the women was at their strongest. That's why the full moon is the greatest blockage to the energy of Saturn that the women can use as Lilith energy. Control chaos.
So how do you think moon magic then plays? I mean, how effective?
Because there's nothing they're gonna do on this earth. There's nothing they're gonna do on this earth that the women is not gonna figure out a contingency for.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. A wise woman, anyway.
This is how you know when the women discovered what the moon was doing to their physiology. They incorporated what we call moon magic into the zodiac. And it also tells you how to read the energy of the moon. Well, our sisters know this stuff instinctually. And so they study the moon magic, and they able to use the moon magic, and then those who are strongest can use the moon and Saturn together simultaneously. And those are the ones most people fear, because when you piss them off, all hell break loose.
Yeah, I know all about that. I've had an affinity with the moon since I was a little girl, actually. These are things that I had to develop on my own. But then it came in question when as you grow up and mature, and I've always been a reader, and I see certain information that kind of contradicts what I felt growing up. And so I was just curious when I see women behave the way they behave, and not being, and that's just my personal opinion, okay, that we're not being as effective. And I just wonder, could that be the reason why?
Well,
as a collective, that is.
Yeah. So some of y'all can use the moon energy more than others.
Okay.
And some of y'all are more traditional to the Lilith energy that comes through Saturn. Right. I had a post on that on my Rod Hayes page before they took it back.
Yeah.
Before they took it down.
Yeah. So what's up with the Facebook page? I had requested to join that group, but I haven't, and that was like almost 2 months ago. So that's no longer
Which
active
group?
on the Facebook.
My Facebook page is well, I got the limit of friends I can have. Every now and then it'll drop and I can add people.
Okay. Because I was wondering, I was like, damn, did I come in too late or what? But
no, I'm in
I
Facebook
always
jail
catch
now.
the lives anywhere else, whether it be on YouTube or Instagram. Anytime I see Rod Hayes pop up, I'm definitely going to, stop and take a listen. And I learned a lot from it, so I appreciate, the time and energy that you put into this, and the way it's helping not only myself, but others to kind of understand and understand a lot of what we've always known. And it kind of puts the confirmation on it, kind of puts that stamp on it. And so now, you know, you can proceed.
So most of the information that we be talking about is in your subconscious mind, but we don't know how to access it.
Oh, absolutely. I have no doubt. That's why it resonated with me right away. I never knew you or of you. I knew your spirit. And I knew there's some type of familiar energy there. And so when I saw you physically right away, you know, and oh my God, it just blew my mind, you know, and it's like, okay, wow, you know, we need about 100 more of this brother right here. Because, you know, I've seen a lot, you know, I had to go up against, you know, I had sovereign license plates on my vehicle when I was in California, and people thought that was very radical. And but at the time, you know, I was very radical. And you know, you didn't have a lot of people that thought that made sense, but I knew exactly what I was doing. And you know, the police stopped me on a few occasions, but they couldn't do nothing, you know, because they knew what they were dealing with, but they didn't want the people around me to know. So they didn't make no, you know, they didn't make no fuss of it. They couldn't do nothing but just leave me alone. But I kind of had to sit back for a little bit because I think I kind of frightened my children as they were growing up. And it just wasn't a lot of people.
We at war with these people. They are occupiers on our territory. They are a foreign invading force operating under unum sanctum papal bull of the Pope. The worst thing that we can do is reclaim our power by reclaiming the land in the Jubilee year. We in the Jubilee year now. So all things have to return back to who was the rightful owner. And the closing of the age is happening at the close of the age is happening at the same time we have in this Jubilee year.
Yeah.
You know. So the timing is perfect for the women to reclaim what's rightfully theirs by nature. It's not personal.
Absolutely.
If you put the power to where the power goes, everything run the way it's supposed to run. That's all.
Absolutely. I certainly stand on that. And I'm looking forward, you know, I always used to pray because I grew up in church, you know, but I walked away from church for several reasons. But, you know, we were one of those church going families 7 days a week, and I wasn't feeling it. And I was seeing things that something ain't right about this. And as a child, when I was forced to go up to the altar, you know how they used to do, make you pray.
Yeah.
I simply prayed for wisdom. I didn't know why. But that's what I wanted. I didn't want a house. I wasn't looking for a husband. I was only 12 years old. You know, I wanted wisdom because whatever wisdom was or whatever God was, that's what I wanted to be. And I got it in double portion as I grew into the fullness, and I'm still growing because there wasn't nobody around to really stand on the truth. They bought into, you know, the church thing. So I stopped going. You know, I wasn't going to be a part of that. But I appreciate you, brother. I done clocked out, and I'm not even supposed to be clocked out right now, but you know what? I don't care. They know me. You know, okay. I supervise me. I'm my manager. But I'm going to get clocked back in and do these last 30 minutes because I work from home.
Wait a minute.
Regular job, and then I also work on my business, which I'm, you know, building an online store, using my artwork. But I had to stop, and I appreciate, you know, you let me in, and God, it's godly and it's divine. That's all I can say. And we will have the last say.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming in and having this conversation with us.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.